Thank you for staying with us. As Nigeria inches closer to the 2027 general election, speculations are mounting over who will emerge as the presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC. The party, recently adopted by an opposition coalition, is grappling with internal disagreements over leadership strategy and its future direction. Some members have raised concerns about transparency and inclusion in key decision-making processes. While the ADC presents itself as a credible alternative to the dominant political parties, the rising tensions within could pose a challenge to its stability ahead of the polls. Well, joining us for this conversation is a political commentator, Ayodele Adewale. Good morning. It's good to have you join us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, it seems that the race to 2027, be it presidential election and all the election that would happen during that period, is already heating up. And there are those saying political tensions are already rising as we see it. Counter allegations here and there, conversations. We are seeing all of it, the drama around the 2027 election. And then we have a coalition now that has adopted the ADC, which a number of persons have been speaking about. I'd like to first of all get your perspective on the coalition. And all that a number of persons have been saying is they are perhaps not as formidable as they think they are because of the persons that have coalesced to form that coalition and adopt ADC as a party. And there are others who are saying, of course, they have a right to come together and do whatever it is they want to do. And they can also form that credible opposition. But from your perspective, how do you interpret this coalition?
Well, from my perspective, I will not get carried away by the innuendos that is happening. I think the ruling party, the APC, should focus more on their programs that they are delivering and fast track on all of these 100 matters. Because take it or leave it, they have reworked the foundation of this country in terms of economy, in terms of foreign relationship with some countries to open foreign direct investments and so many other things. In terms of solidifying our educational system, don't be quick to forget that in the 80s and 90s, so to speak, where our population actually boomeranged very astronomically, and when after the SAP and all of that, the economy nosedived, you know, and all of this thing, and we started having a retrogression in the productive sector, industrialization and all of that. That created a big lacuna for unemployment and all that, and many families could not fund the education of their children anymore, especially people that have lost their parents. A lot of them have to drop out of school. And before, when you have an industry like Chryslib and all of these things, people can run there, do work, and use to fund their education. These things were no longer there. People had to go out borrowing, doing all manner of things to be in school. As a student union activist and president of Lagos State University, then I remember so many clamoring that we had to put forward to, you know, hold the school and the military government as at then, not to increase fees and all. And you now have a government that is bringing NEL fund to take away all those pains. As long as you want to go to school, take advantage of NEL fund and become what you aspire to become. It's a very big milestone. Even during the Awolowo era, when they started it, a lot of the political leaders now took the opportunity of scholarship. But how many people can be scholars, right? So that really is a lofty program that will better the affairs of this country, you know, going forward.
So what I hear you say is that don't focus so much on ADC, don't focus so much on the opposition. Just continue doing the good work you're doing and you will be fine. Before now, it was the PDP all over the news about their crisis, their this, their that, and now it is the ADC. What does that say to you?
For me, that's their internal affair. If they cannot address all of the crises within their spectrum, it also means that, God forbid, they have an opportunity to govern the state. These are things that you're going to see. The state is not going to be governed in a very direct trajectory towards having a solidified purpose. You're going to be having people throwing tantrums all over the place. It's a leadership question. So as leaders of their party, if they cannot keep it together, then how do you want to keep the affairs of state together?
But we've seen political parties go through lots and lots of crises just before elections. This thing is as if it happens every 4 years, just when we are getting close to elections. We hear so much problem in this party, so much problem in that party, and so much. At the end of the day, we still have elections. They still come out with a presidential candidate. They still have elections. Win or lose really doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to make, sir, is it necessary to focus so much on the leadership issues in ADC, you know, while other things like what you mentioned, the things you mentioned, are ongoing? Shouldn't government focus more on governance and leave the politics for the, but then government is made up of the politicians too. What do you think?
I think as a media institution, or should I say setup that you are, one would not say that you should not use these things that are happening to study the socio-political realities, you know, that is on ground. But for any party in government, yes, listen a bit to what is going on, but keep focusing on your programs. Don't get distracted.
Yes.
Because you have a political agreement, you know, social contract with the people through your programs.
Yeah.
So if you get distracted, right, and focus more on whatever is happening there, time is not waiting for anyone.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, we are going to go back to that people's market to re-legitimize your contract with them through the ballot. And what they'll be asking you see, it's very easy for people that have not been there before. You can go and say, oh, I will do, I can do. Once you've been there, they would measure you on the basis of what you've done, right? Now, when this administration was campaigning, all of the things they have been doing, they've said it in their programs. They are not new. Subsidy removal, they said it. NEL fund, they talked about it. Infrastructure, they talked about it. So if there's something they didn't talk about that they are doing, right, then you can take them on it if it is not towards a progressive end. But as long as they are walking the talk, we all know that the road that they follow to get into where they are is not a smooth road.
Yeah.
And they have to smoothen it in order to make the people happy, right? Now, along the road, you also have people that are, you know, trying to get your attention and distract you from your objective. So what you can just do, you could create a department to keep taking what they're saying, look at it, mirror it around your programs, the lies that are there, take it out and show it to the people that this is just a distraction, it's a lie. This is what we are told you we will do, and this is what we're doing, and we're going to get there.
Exactly.
So the political heavyweights, as the media describes them, we have the Rauf Aregbesola, we have the Aminu Tambuwa, we have the Dino Melaye, we have the Vice President, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, etc. On one side. On the other side is the incumbent party, which is the APC. And at the center of it all is the Nigerian populace. How do you think the distraction, which you said that possibly are being caused by these opposition parties, you know, to the incumbent, can be understood, well understood by the Nigerian populace as distraction, and not just something that, yeah, a group of people coming together to grant us relief, even though this incumbent government said, we want to do this, we would do this, and they are walking the talk as you've described. How do you think they are getting the message to the Nigerian populace to understand that, yes, what is going on right now, it's just a little pain that we have to go through to get to that El Dorado that we anticipated? I just
said not too long ago that they create a department or create a platform, right, to address such matters, which they are doing, obviously, though. The engagement on social media by the incumbent administration, for me, it has gone very high, right? If you look at it 1 year ago and look at it right now, I could say it has gone as high as 68%. In terms of social media engagement, where you have a large catchment of youth.
It's one to communicate. It's another thing for people to internalize the essence of this communication.
Sir, with the profoundest of respect, they've engaged. The engagement is going on. Now, you've called people like us to your platform to discuss on this matter in order for the people to mirror on where this spectrum are coming from and how they should align their thoughts, right? If a lie is told repeatedly and people are not able to mirror this lie with the social realities, they tend to consume it and perceive it as the true fact of what is on ground. That is why I said the incumbent administration have done so well using the mass media and social media in order to push out what they're doing and, of course, put some narrative towards it. They're not making it so long of a story. Many of what they're pushing out is about 30 seconds, 60 seconds, putting it in a very unique way and passing the message than just talking lengthy stories that people will try to phantom and try to make something out of it, right? Engagement like this, you bring both parties together, let them, show it. And again, their pedigree. If you want to lead me, right, you must be having higher cerebral of knowledge, fact, and experience. So if your knowledge does not supersede mine, as an elite, elite means enlightened person, educated person. It will be difficult for me to align with what you're saying. Yeah. Now, for me to also align with what you're saying, I must also look at your pedigree. Where are you coming from? What's your background? What is the alternative that you want to give me that will make me believe you, right? If I look at your background and I see some gaps, definitely it will be difficult for me to believe your aftermath. So these are very key, and this is what the Nigerian people should also look at more, right? Show me your friend, and I'll tell you who you are.
Interesting.
That's the only thing.
And I want to pick it up from there because you have mentioned some critical issues that I'd like for you to expatiate on, and a number of people are also talking about it as well, the pedigree of these people and their experience. And the fact that it's seeming like they haven't shown that they have learned lessons and they can put that into practice, because the essence of that's what experience is all about. They were formerly in the APC, they moved to the PDP, and now here we are seeing them again migrate to the ADC. And some of them said that it's because the current administration and as well as the APC decimated their party as a result of the 2023 election. That's the PDP now, and that is why the House has seemingly crumbled on the PDP, and they are looking for where to coalesce and move on. Are you saying that their experience has not come to play over the years that they have been moving from one place to the other to ensure that the PDP stands, no matter what they felt as a result of the 2023 election, to build on that and form a formidable opposition? And that is why they are still moving up and down, as it may seem. Yeah. And then we are talking about pedigree. A number of persons, including Shore, has said that these people do not even seem to have pedigree, and he cannot sit with them.
Yeah. You see, even within a nomadic movement, they are moving towards where there are better pastures, right? You are moving your flock from point A to point B. They know where they're going. They don't misalign their thoughts and all. If a Showore have told you that he would rather be in a platform that will take so long for him to achieve his purpose, and he's not junketing all around the place, right? It shows you that he understands what he's doing, right? Now, if you have people that are junketing from one platform to the other platform to the other, just testing all around,
desperation.
You can't come and test a system that you intend to fix and hoping that one day it will get better and the people will align. No, it doesn't work that way. So alignment, right? There is no platform where there are no issues. There will be issues. But you resolving those issues within your platform takes a lot of time, right? And it also shows a lot of maturity within that context, right? So if you feel that within that context that you feel a little indifference, it doesn't mean that you now start testing the pudding all over the place. You get poisoned along the line and you lose your essence, right? But what matters more for me is that the present administration should focus on the social contract that you have with the people. Make sure that you deliver it on time as they are doing right now and with speed. Right now we have companies coming on board to refine petroleum products in Nigeria. Dangote is doing it, Boa, I'm sure before the end of this year, they're going to start their refineries. There is one other one coming around Ekpe and all of that, and so many other pockets of refineries everywhere. If all of this thing comes on stream, you're going to have competition. Like what, I do not like to mention brands' name at time.
It's better not to.
There's this brand in the telco, right? When the first brand came, right, we were buying SIM card and the Triumph phone for about 50,000 when it started, right? I bought my own, I think around 26,000 as at that time, you know. And there was this telco that came and brought it down to 1 naira. There was a time we were doing per minute billing. This telco brought it to per second. That's market competition for you. By the time you do that, it comes down. The dependency on the dollar be removed, because those are the big mammoths in the room that takes a lot of foreign exchange, right? Yeah. Now you have more foreign exchange coming in. All of this industrialization that are germinating right now, production will escalate. The president recently just got about how many thousand agricultural tractors and all. They monitor it very well, put it into use. In the next 3 to 6 months, you're going to get agricultural produce all over the place. You saturate the market, right? Now, the governors have come together to remove all the hindrances along the value chain, especially on the logistic chain and all. By the time you remove that, the cost of food will drop, right? They're building infrastructure, road infrastructure, continuing with the rail infrastructure that the Buhari administration have done. They are opening more on the blue economy, right? The Lekki seaport is almost completed. I think they are opening some seaport along the eastern axis. They are working some things around there. Let them go to dredge the River Niger. There is this place that I crossed when I wanted to become NANS president then. The journey from Auchi to Aginibode, the journey from Ida from Auchi to Ida, I think was around 12, 14 hours when we were in the student movement, right? The road was so bad. So somebody now told us, why don't you drive to Aginibode? So we drove to Aginibode for about 1 hour. We got there 12 midnight, and we went to call on the paddler to take us across the canoe man. No life jacket, nothing. We crossed from Aginibode to Ida. I think that took about 20 minutes in the midnight, around 12:30. We got there. Then we moved to the College of Education. Why coming back the second day was when I realized the danger that we went through, as a student activist. Yeah. So I now thought to myself, if they connect a bridge from Aginibode to Ida, it will complement the Niger Bridge. It will open the values in those two corridors. You understand? I know. So those are infrastructures they should continue to do. You now have flooding, right? You are complaining that people along the water bank are being flooded. The extractive sand that you take away from the Niger when you dredge it, you use it to backfill and increase, the level of those areas. I can't say they should start on embankment like the River Thames. It's going to cost a lot, right? But you do that. Bring the private sector. Why can't the private sector come to start building ports along the River Niger axis? Let them have access direct to the sea. It creates more jobs. So those areas, I think the present administration should also look more into it and create jobs all over the place than listen to people who had the opportunity for about 16 years and they couldn't do all of those things.
Yeah, I really love what you just said. You've given ideas and workable ideas. I was thinking of interrupting you when you said you took the canoe at midnight.
Yes,
I would not do that.
We did because I wanted to be NANS president. And I would do whatever.
I would not do that no matter what.
If you have a purpose, you damn the consequences.
A friend of mine says the only water I'm not afraid of is the one in the cup. Once it's more than that,
even the one in the cup, you can drown the water.
Okay. Now, one of the things I believe the opposition is going to use a whole lot is the fact that Nigerians are hungry and they really cannot wait for some of these projects to see the light of day. Yeah. Because a hungry man is a very impatient person.
Definitely.
You know, I would like you to speak to that and get the people to understand what you think about this particular situation.
You see, the question of hunger is from two angles. One is from the angle of capacity, one is from the angle of security, and the last angle is along the logistic corridor. If you remove all of the blockage along the road and fix the road, I can tell you that food will come in from Maiduguri, because I've gone to Maiduguri by road, right? We went from Lagos all the way to Abuja, to Jos, from Jos to Bauchi, Zaranda, all the way down to Maiduguri. So I've gone to Nigeria, been to Nigeria by road, all the states. So I know how the terrain is. So when you remove all of these hindrances, I can assure you that goods will come from Maiduguri to Lagos within 24 hours. Now, if the rail system, of course, nobody can stop that one, you know, comes down, it connects it. And what the president is doing right now is connecting major roads, new roads, aligning them. When I saw the presentation of the Minister for Works, I was amazed seeing the connection from the Sokoto, Lagos, take it down to the Calabar, the Lagos Calabar. From the east, they connected it also down to the Calabar axis, connected. I think from the east also, they are trying to connect it to the Niger axis. Then all of those connections, right? These are things that will enhance goods and services. With what is doing in the agricultural sector now, partnering with Brazil. You know, Brazil is one of the biggest countries when you talk about agriculture and all of these things. They are coming in as partners to improve on capacity, because I talked about capacity earlier on. Now, when you talk about capacity, it's not just hoes and cutlasses and all of that anymore. There are some little equipment that the Chinese are using to grow rice, to grow even cassava without having those big equipments and all of these things. They bring in more of technology, right? And also create incentives. You understand? Create incentive like what this man that just retired from this is the African Development, Akiwumi, did, you know, additional and all of that. Then, you know, his administration is also moving along that trajectory, make fertilizer more abundant, connect people together, train them. You know, like the president would say, make agriculture look sexy and all that, you know, without having the attraction.
Because of our time, now looking at what could probably make a mad party is the upcoming chairmanship election, which will definitely come up at some point. We know that internal wrangling can be a problem. So there are many contenders who are coming up following the resignation of Abdullahi Ganduje. We won't waste time mentioning their names, but if there is, you know, after this election, there might be vestiges of, you know, discord, maybe dissatisfaction and all of that. How do you think the APC should navigate this path in ensuring that they have a chairman that will unite them, one, and that will lead them to the ultimate battle, which is 2027 elections? I
don't think there will be a discord. If there's going to be a discord, you start seeing it, the flashes from now, right? The APC, for me, has a way of managing its own internal issues, right? And I don't really foresee any discord in that area. I think what we should see it as is that they are rejigging their system, right? They are rejigging their system. And I see more of youth and young people involvement in the next Congress that is coming, the next convention. I see more of youth and young people, because there are different
young
things.
People taking position.
There are two different things. The youth and young people, right? People tend to mix it. So I see more of those tendencies, right? Coming on board, taking larger responsibilities in order to position the party for the future.
That would be interesting to see, that youth and young people are taking up
positions.
You know,
the youth bracket is from Universal Standard, if I'm not too wrong, is from 16 and you end at 36. Anything above 36, you are not a youth, right? If you say at 40, you are living the life of this young people.
When our own standard, we have football age. So.
That is your own standard. Even in football, you can't even do that anymore because everything is tracked.
Yeah,
Yes.
everything is
So you
tracked
can't
now.
do it. You can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Then the young people, you peg them maybe from 45 or 40 to 50, then take them to around 55. Once you are 60, you are now.
Is that why the UAE is saying if you are below 45, you have to come with someone? When you look at the ban on Nigeria, the UAE is saying you have to be.
Is that a ban?
It's well, I'm calling it a ban from my perspective.
It's not. It's a policy of
It's
that
a policy.
of that government,
Yes.
right? So it depends on the foreign ministry right now to go and engage them in order to either relax that policy. You also have the right to also create your own
Reciprocate.
policy.
Your own policy.
No, don't call it reciprocation, because if you do that, it can hurt some of your integrals of development, because you need more people to come in.
And they also need us to come into.
They have gotten to a height of stability,
Yes.
right? They have got to a height of stability. They can close their
Same with the US.
Oh, of course, they got to a height of stability. They can do away with so many people.
So you don't see that
regardless
as
of-
pride that can lead to
No,
fall.
it's a challenge. It's a challenge, right? It's a challenge. So
Our time is up, unfortunately. We have to leave the conversation here. Political commentator Ayodele Adewale, thank you for your time on the program.
thank you for having me.